Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing very well. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to the new Astro Woo show, where we're going to be talking about the new Astro Woo astrology for December 2024. And we are live here on the Beyond Mystic and Meg Moonbeam YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. Let me know how you're all feeling in the live chat or the comments below. Love to hear from you guys. Very interesting energy that we are stepping into as we go into December. So we're going to be talking about the most important transits for the collective, as well as each of the 12 signs. And before we get into the astrology, please remember, you guys, to like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channels. My personal astrology readings are available at consultations.beyondmystic.net. And also, I have a very exciting live workshop that's coming up next weekend, astrology predictions for 2025 for all 12 of the signs. This is going to be a 4-day live workshop from Thursday, November 28th to Sunday, December 1st. You're welcome to tune in live with me each of those days at 1 p.m. Eastern, or join in on the replay and catch your sign predictions. And so excited to be offering this. Going to share the most important transits, predictions, astrological remedies for each of the 12 signs. And it's very cost affordable. It's only $35 US for access to all 12 of the signs. It's going to be hours and hours long. And we've also got discount code PREDICT10 until Wednesday that you can use to get 10% off. So yeah, how's everybody doing out there? We're at the end of another Gregorian year. We've got 1 month left of 2024. It is wild. Jules says, woohoo, December is my birthday month. Hi, Meg. Well, happy birthday, Jules, and happy birthday to all our December Saggies and Cappies out there. Love those two signs so much. So let's start by talking about some of our key dates for the Western astrology for December 2024. Let's get into it. So December 1st, we're going to be having a new moon in Sagittarius. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in depth after I've gone through the key date slides, some important things for me to share with you all about that new moon, not a regular new moon by any means. December 4th, we're going to have Mercury in Sagittarius in an opposition to Jupiter in Gemini. And actually, I'm filming today's December astrology Astro Woo on Monday, November 25th. And today, Mercury is going retrograde. We are going to have Mercury retrograde for the first half of December, from December 1st to December 15th. So on December 4th, this Mercury retrograde in opposition to Jupiter, with the Sun square Saturn on the exact same day, that is very funky, very confusing energy. So I want you guys to be aware of December 4th is definitely not the best day to be making any huge life decisions, signing important contracts, doing really important things in life. This Mercury retrograde, we're going to want to be really mindful, okay, of our surroundings, what we're doing, what our beliefs are. I'll talk about that more when we get into the new moon in Sagittarius chart. So that's definitely a funny vibe, December 4th. And December 5th, we have Sun conjunct Mercury, which when a planet conjuncts the Sun, we call this a cazimi. So it is a Mercury cazimi day on December 5th. Those tend to be days that we can receive very big insights from the cosmos, from the Sun. We can have breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs on those days, and receive big clarity as well. So that's nice. Mercury retrograde with a Mercury cazimi. And then December 6th, Mars goes retrograde as well. And Mars is going to be retrograde in the sign of Leo from December 6th going into February 2025. This is something that you guys are going to be hearing me talk about a lot moving forward. This is going to be intense Mars retrograde. I'll share with you guys why when we get to the Mars retrograde chart. On the same day, December 6th, Mercury square Saturn and Venus enters Aquarius. So I'm seeing December 4th, December 6th, very funky, weird energies on those days. And let me be clear, not necessarily negative, okay? We have just come out of Pluto at the end of Capricorn in a Scorpio season. That was super intense. That was dark, actually. Even though we received a lot of good news, a lot of us are very happy and optimistic after the US election results. I'm going to be sharing with you guys in today's Astro Woo, specifically around the Mercury retrograde and the Mars retrograde, how we have some challenges coming up, but it's not anything to like totally freak out about or anything really negative. But I'm going to be honest with you guys about some of these transits for December. So yeah, then we go to December 7th. Neptune goes direct. Yay! So we're having Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde, Neptune going direct. Woohoo! We've had that Neptune retrograde in Pisces for quite a few past months. And Neptune, of course, is the most strongest outer planet at the moment in his home sign of Pisces. So that Neptune retrograde, that is making people feel confused, disillusioned, more easily infiltrated to brainwashing and mind control. So thank God we've got that Neptune going direct, and Neptune is getting ready to head into Aries in 2025. Very different energy. Also on December 7th, Sun in Sag in an opposition to Jupiter in Gemini. Then we move to the second half of the month, December 15th, we're going to have a full moon in Gemini. And on the same day, Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius. Yay! But if I'm remembering correctly, and we'll take a look at the chart when we get to it, I think Mercury is still going to be retrograde at the exact time of that full moon. So just being mindful of that. Our next two lunations, the new moon on December 1st, the full moon December 15th, Mercury will be retrograde. Then December 18th, Sun in Sag in square to Neptune in Pisces. December 21st is our winter solstice. Happy almost solstice, everybody in the Northern Hemisphere. It's our winter solstice. In the Southern Hemisphere, it's of course their summer solstice. And whenever it's our winter solstice, that is when the sun enters 0 degrees of Capricorn in the Western Tropic Zodiac, and we have Capricorn season begins. Christmas Eve on December 24th, Jupiter in Gemini square Saturn in Pisces. Oh my goodness. So we're going to want to be mindful around Christmas time of, discussions with the family and friends around, Saturn, the reality of what's going on, politics. It's naturally just going to come up. There's going to be some very opposing conversations, some very opposing beliefs. And this is going to be a very big theme for the whole month with Mars retrograde at the same time. So this is definitely a conflictual energy. Okay. And that doesn't give me pleasure to say, and I'm just being honest with you guys. And it's already there. Can you guys feel it? Because it's already there. There is a conflictual energy in the collective right now, because some of us are on this side of the aisle with this certain set of beliefs and values, and then other people are on a completely other set of the aisle with different beliefs and values. And it's like two totally separate things going on. So with Christmas and Christmas Eve, with that Jupiter square Saturn, it's going to be very apparent where family members and friends and where ourselves are at even. So yeah, Make This Change says totally feel that. And you know what, you guys, none of us are perfect. Okay, so if we find ourselves with Mercury being retrograde, which can make us more impulsive, which can make us more easily irritated, if we find ourselves freaking the fuck out in a moment and having a fight with somebody we love, and then we realize maybe we said something that we didn't want to say, maybe we were too pushy, none of us are perfect. So, being able to own up to it and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I was maybe being a little bit intense there, or you know what, let's not get into the politics, right? It's okay to take a step back and take accountability for our actions, for what we say. and how we say it. And, I've said this so many different times on my channel, the Beyond Mystic channel, that something that I've really learned over the past few years is you cannot force people to wake up. Okay. All of 2021, and let me know your experience, you guys, in the live chat and in the comments below. 2021 for me was literally the whole year me trying to get my loved ones not to get the you know what, and not to do certain things. And I extended so much energy outward. I extended so much concern outward. And it taught me that you can say anything to people that still have the ears closed, the eyes closed. They will wake up when they are ready on the soul level to wake up. I'm not saying don't speak your truth at family gatherings. I'm not saying don't stand up for yourself. But how I kind of operate right now is I will only fully open the door with a loved one and go crazy with, the alternative information and the conspiracies only if they open the door first. Because, okay, and I'm getting a thumbs up from our streaming program when I do that. Only when they open it up first. Julia says blinders. Yes. Okay. So I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't tolerate disrespect at all anymore. I've gone through my Saturn return. I'm not a little kid anymore. I'm 32 now. And one of the things I've already learned is if someone's going to call me names, if someone's going to treat me like shit just because of where I'm at, then I'm getting up from the table. I don't care if it's Christmas or not, and I'm walking away. Okay. But if someone is, wanting to have a discussion and it's a healthy debate, if they open the door and they're open for it, then I'm all gung-ho. I'm going to go Scorpio on their ass. And, a lot of us in this community probably have Scorpio in our chart. So I know I've said that a lot of times before, you guys, but just want to emphasize it again as we go into this holiday season with this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius in an opposition to Jupiter, with Mars retrograde. People are just going to be feeling more pissed off, more conflictual, more easily agitated and triggered. With Jupiter square Saturn on Christmas Eve, okay, this is where loved ones might say things that totally trigger us, where we want to, go crazy, explain everything that's going on. If you really feel to do that, then do that. I'm not telling you guys not to do that, but from my personal experience, unless they are opening the door. And what I mean by opening the door, let me just explain that for a moment. What I mean by opening the door, okay? What I mean by that is when someone goes, Meg, I thought you were kind of fucking crazy with all your posts in the past 4 years, but I'm starting to think there's something weird going on. Okay, that is an example of somebody opening the door. Or another example is, I really haven't felt well since I got the you know what, and I'm kind of, I thought you were crazy. I thought you guys were crazy, but I'm starting to see, I don't know, I'm starting to feel different. That is opening the door. Okay. If someone's calling you crazy, if someone's being disrespectful, if someone's calling you a Nazi, that's not opening the door. That's actually them closing the door even more, and I'm actually walking out the door. Okay? Yeah, so I see your comments, you guys. You guys are agreeing with me. Absolutely. I love you too. Yeah, you're resonating with that. So that's something we're going to want to keep in mind. Right? And we are entering Pluto in Aquarius. So everybody, even us in the alternative truther community, even us, we're about to have our minds freaking blown. We don't know the whole story. Okay. So it's very important for us to be loving with each other, to be patient with each other. And people will wake up when they are ready to wake up. Yes, it is the Great Awakening. For sure. Brown-eyed lady says, it's one thing to disagree with someone else, but it's not okay to name call. I totally agree with you. Yeah. Under no circumstances do you need to accept abuse? Do you need to accept name calling? Do you need to accept defamation of your character? No. It doesn't matter if it's a friend. It doesn't matter if it's a family member. No. Okay. So yes, Vicky says they will have to see for themselves. Definitely. I like that on December 29th, Chiron goes direct in Aries. December 30th, new moon in Capricorn. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's a lot of funky aspects this month. There's the new moon in Sag is weird. The full moon in Gemini is weird. The Mercury retrograde is weird. The Mars retrograde is weird. But again, it's not negative. It's not like, oh my God, watch out, get your prepper kit ready. No, it's just there's confusion, there's information overload, and it's just, it feels a little bit scattered and all over the place. Okay. And some of you guys may have seen the US elections prediction video that I put out. I think that was last month. No, was that October? When did I put that out? End of October. There's still some predictions that I've put out that haven't happened yet that I think are going to be happening in December. Okay, so what I have to ask is, where's Joe and where's Kamala and what are they doing right now? What's going on with that right now? Okay. So I do feel that Pluto, now out of Capricorn, 0 degrees of Aquarius with this Mars retrograde, I think that Joe Biden may step down and Kamala might become the intermittent president until Inauguration Day. So I've said that for the past couple months. I will continue to say that. And I could totally see that happening with the astrology that we have this month for December. Okay. Now, if that were to happen, and I don't want that to happen, let me be very clear. Okay. But if that were to happen, it wouldn't last long and it would totally make sense with this Mercury retrograde and this Mars retrograde. Okay. So that's something that interesting. Harris disappears from, okay. This is the frickin' vice president of the United States. She didn't come out on election night and tell her supporters, everything's okay, we had a good run. She didn't even come out. And now she's disappeared and is supposedly in Hawaii. Like, are you guys freaking kidding me? There's so much to take care of right now. And this is a whole other video, but yeah, I'm going to, yeah, Diane says, it feels like she fell off the face of the earth. Yeah. Maybe she's gone away on a vacation because she's getting ready to be the intermittent president. We'll see about that. And of course, the USA is going to be very, very highlighted with this new moon in Sagittarius that we're going to be having on December 1st. So here's the new moon in Sagittarius chart that is on December 1st, 1:21 a.m. Eastern time exact. This new moon in Sag is at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, okay? And the USA's country chart has its rising sign at 12 degrees of Sagittarius. So this new moon is conjunct the rising of the US. The US is going to get very highlighted and activated also with Jupiter in an opposition to the rising sign of the US. So this Mercury retrograde it's going to be confusing, weird information and developments for the US. But again, I will say, because I don't want to freak people out, it's not things that are going to last into the long term. Okay. This is just a super weird month with the Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde at the same time, and Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So there's also going to be things coming up that are completely unpredictable. Okay. Because Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius is like complete unpredictability. Shocks, surprises, weird events. having to do with Pluto, powerful people, governments. Okay. So that'll be really interesting to play out. Now, yeah, I said we're in a Mercury retrograde, starts today from when I'm filming this video, November 25th, and goes until December 15th. New moon in Sag on December 1st with a Mercury retrograde. Mercury opposite Jupiter, the dispositor of this new moon. So, you know, new moons are our natural time of setting new intentions, positive energy, new beginnings. But with this Mercury retrograde, with this new moon in Sagittarius on December 1st, yes, you can put out your intentions, write your intentions, say them out loud, but probably some of them are going to change, okay, from what you may have as they are right now. And it's just because it's a Mercury retrograde opposite Jupiter. Jupiter's the dispositor of this new moon, and Granddaddy Saturn is in a square to the new moon. So not the best new moon to be really like seriously affirming, here's my intention and I'm putting this out there, right? This is a new moon that I think is really good for reflection, meditation. Sagittarius is one of the signs that rules meditation, higher consciousness practices, prayer as well, and seeing what comes to you, okay? Also, the past is very highlighted. There can be things coming up from the past, because it is Mercury retrograde, that can affect the intentions and goals that we're setting towards the future moving forward. I do like that even though there's some funky aspects, Sagittarius does rule hope, optimism, luck, positive energy, okay? And this new moon is at 9 degrees, which is a Sagittarius degree. So I love that. It is a positive energy. But just, again, it's not bad, you guys. I'm not saying that the month is bad or the new moon is bad. It's just a little bit wonky, a little bit confusing, and a little bit all over the place. Okay, like some of us can be feeling on this like, woo, Sagittarius season, new moon in Sag high. And then other people having total dismantling of beliefs, totally tripping out, and on that other side of the aisle, right? So it's a little bit all over the place with this energy. Let me know if you guys are already feeling it. So with this new moon in Sag, you want to see where you have 9 degrees of Sagittarius in your personal chart, because this is an area getting activated, being highlighted. You can be experiencing a new beginning, but there might also be a delay there at the same time. And there can be new wisdom coming through for you in that area of life, okay? So very important while the sun is in Sag to keep an open mind. Mercury retrograde, keep an open mind, because we can have very big, drastic, with Jupiter in opposition to Mercury, change of beliefs. Vicky says, it is time for beliefs to be dismantled. Totally. Hermiller, will it be a big month for disinformation? Yes. Okay, very good question. Yes, but it's going to be really, really obvious if you're in your common sense, which is Gemini, Jupiter and Gemini. What is disinformation? Okay, so if you're ungrounded at the moment, if you're not in your common sense, if you're not connected to nature, if you've lost your mind, body, spirit connection, which is probably not most of the people listening to this show right now, yeah, those people are more susceptible to disinformation. Michael says, Meg is describing Rachel Maddow's current behavior. You know, I actually haven't seen any of Rachel Maddow's clips recently, which I keep up with like everything that's going on. So yeah, she must be freaking out. I did hear that MSNBC, this is from The Ankler, MSNBC mayhem, Rachel Maddow pay cut, brutal lineup shakeup coming. So yeah, Isn't MSNBC getting canceled or something like that? Can somebody let me know in the live chat? Probably one of you guys know in the live chat. Oh my God, yeah. I should look at Rachel Maddow's chart. That would be hilarious. Yeah. People like Rachel Maddow are mentally going through it. They are mentally going through it right now. Like, whoa. Crazy, crazy times. Wild. So that opposition of beliefs or dismantling of beliefs will be very highlighted December 1st with this new moon in Sagittarius, which my American friends out there, I forgot to say, happy Thanksgiving. Your Thanksgiving is, what day do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving? December 28th, the Thursday. I'm sure you guys may do it on different days. Yeah, Thanksgiving with Mercury retrograde, this new moon in Sag, Mercury in opposition to Jupiter, and then Christmas with the Jupiter square Saturn. It's funky, funky with our family and friends. Oh, it's Thursday. You guys do it on Thursday. Okay, cool. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, just be mentally prepared for weird shit conversation-wise, and people kind of possibly losing their minds in front of you. And I don't wish that upon anybody. Okay. I've had anxiety attacks in my life. I had like a nervous breakdown in 2020. I don't wish mental instability on anyone, but definitely with these aspects, some of our newbie friends out there, they're feeling it. So let's just send love and support their way for sure. Okay, so we've talked about Mercury retrograde. We've talked about new moon in Sagittarius on December 1st. This is the chart for December 6th. Mars goes retrograde. So Mercury rules information, the mind, the news, social media, our day-to-day activities and gadgets. Mercury rules a lot. That's why Mercury retrogrades are so funky, okay? Mars is the divine masculine. Mars is our energy, it's our will, it's our sexual drive, it's all the masculine aspects of ourselves, okay? It's our confidence, it's our boundaries, our self-protection. So Mars is going to be retrograde from December 6th until February. We're going to have Mercury and Mars together retrograde from December 6th until December 15th. So that's a time, December 6th to 15th, we can be feeling a little bit all over the place, tired, funky. The word for December is funky. Okay? Funky holiday season. All right, that's my word for this. Yeah, so with Mars retrograde in Leo, oh my God, that is a drama show. That is a drama show. Yes, Jenny. Funky Town. I love that song. So our energy levels are going to be a little whacked. People can be more susceptible to moodiness, especially when Mars retrogrades back into Cancer next year. And it's more of a conflictual energy. Okay. So we have, there is positive energy. There is the sun in Sag, there is Pluto in Aquarius. There's a lot of really positive things going on, but the astrology is not punishing us. It's actually, and I'm getting this message right now, there's kind of these weird funky town aspects right now because it's pushing people to wake up. It's pushing people to have the breakdowns to then have the breakthroughs. Okay. So I'm feeling intuitively from spirit that that's actually one way that we can work with this energy for December. That's kind of weird. It's like we're watching the weirdness and we can actually say to it, wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that, okay, there's people that are struggling mentally. They're having their beliefs dismantled, but wow, universe, I'm so grateful that that's a sign that they're waking up. That's a sign that they're snapping out of it. oh my God, there's so much over information and it's like information overload. That's kind of weird to have to deal with. But universe, I'm so grateful that there is a lot of information coming out. There is so much disclosure and revealing coming out. We can actually be in the gratitude of it and recognize it for what it is. Okay. Now, with this Mars retrograde, Mars rules the military, Mars rules leaders, Mars rules men. So I've been seeing some of you ask me, are we going to see military out on the street? Like, what's going on with that? Possible, very possible. Because Mars is going retrograde, he's going to start to go back into an opposition with Pluto that we technically have Mars-Pluto opposition right now. But it's going to get stronger and stronger, and it's going to be exact again in January, okay? And there's going to be a lot of opposing force and conflict towards President Trump and Vance getting elected. And I do think that they will get elected. I do think that we will have inauguration day on, what is it, January 21st, January 20th, that will happen. But the whole time leading up to that, and you guys are really going to notice it once Mars goes retrograde on December 6th, the other side of the aisle, the people really opposed to that and Team Freedom are going to be not wanting to do that transition of power. And it's going to be very conflictual. And there may, in some cases, need to be some military on the streets with possible very intense protests. We can also see more of a military presence once President Trump and Vance get elected with the border. Okay, if I'm understanding correctly, and let me know, my American friends in the live chat, because you know best, are they going to claim a state of emergency for the border? What, there's going to be military visible on the borders, for sure, when they get elected. Those borders are shutting down. That's for sure. So Amore says, all aboard the woo train. Woo, yes. So, yeah, it's a conflictual energy where, this is where I want to say, the stars impel, they do not compel. Okay. So some astrologers may look at Mars retrograde and Mars going back in an opposition to Pluto and say, oh my God, we're going to have a war. It's going to be World War III and there's going to be bombs going off. I'll be honest with you guys that it's a potential with that. But this is where being aware of the astrology is great, because where we put our intentions, where we put our energy, we can actually create the highest timeline available, and miracles do occur. Okay, so we just came out of intense Scorpio season with Pluto at the end of Capricorn, and some of you have already heard me say this. That could have been 100 times freaking worse. That could have been emergency scenario, power grid goes down, all this stuff, and it wasn't. Okay, with the Mars opposition to Pluto. So yes, Vicky says, see it from the higher perspective. We're not being naive, because it is intense to have Mars retrograde with the Mars in opposition to Pluto, but let's put our energy towards positive intention. And a positive workable way for the Mars-Pluto opposition is to be really mindful of your action, okay, where you assert yourself, because it's more pronounced when Mars-Pluto are in an opposition. Jenny says they're definitely already talking about declaring emergency for deportations. Yeah, totally. And thank you for saying that, Jenny. I think on Inauguration Day or that first week of the new administration, there will be pronounced military on the US border, for sure. For sure. Okay, I'm just looking at some of your guys' comments. There's lots of comments, and I like to see what you guys are sharing there. Okay, cool. So, yeah, last transit, main transit, I want to share with you guys, and then we will get into the predictions for each of the 12 signs, is the full moon in Gemini on December 15th. Exact time of the full moon will be 4:01 a.m. Eastern time. So you guys are hearing me use the word weird a lot, the word funky a lot. Yeah, this full moon in Gemini, it's not an exception. Full moon in Gemini is a lighter place for the moon to be. The moon actually likes to be in Gemini. It's fun, it's levity, it's being social, it's our friends, it's our community. This full moon, we've got a T-square to Neptune. Okay, so every full moon, the sun and moon are in an opposition, and Neptune is squaring both the sun and the moon, so this is a T-square, okay? What's Neptune all about, you guys, in an adverse aspect? Pretty easy if you've studied astrology. Let me know what you think in the comments. What is Neptune? What is your interpretation of full moon in Gemini in a T-square to Neptune? Sue says delusions. Yes. Chrissy says illusions. Yes. Hi, Chrissy. Jenny, illusions and deception. Yes. Cosmic detective. Ooh, I like your name. Weird, funky, twilight zone energies. Yes. Weird, confusing, illusory. Learning discernment, very, very important. Jules, mass confusion. Mass confusion. I wonder what could be so confusing. Maybe Kamala stepping in as the temporary intermittent president. I think that could happen with this full moon in Gemini because it's weird. It's like a curveball. It's something very strange coming out of nowhere that is confusing and feels like a left turn, but it's not actually real. That's Neptune and Pisces, the dark side of it, which this is an adverse aspect. So it can look like, oh my God, Kamala's the president, or oh my God, this is happening, but it's like not actually going to be what it is in the long term, or it's not actually going to be as bad as it looks, right? This full moon, 23 degrees of Gemini, is conjunct President Trump's sun. He's at 22 degrees Gemini. So this full moon is right on his sun. He's going to be very much in the spotlight. Okay. So I think very big development with the US politics with this full moon in Gemini. But for the whole collective, it's confusing information, possible disinformation, possible lie being told to the public, possible people trying to do, or groups trying to do a weird mind control on us. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So be extremely discerning, discernment, okay, of whatever information Gemini is told to us on December 15th and the days around it, because it is not all that it seems. Okay, it is probably not truth. It is probably not factual. And Gemini is the news. Gemini is like the normie news. So if something weird comes out that day, it might not even be real. It could be AI. It could be a movie. It could be a screen, right? So for each of us personally, see where you have 23 degrees of Gemini in your chart, because that's an area that with this full moon, you may be going through a major ending, or that area is just being very illuminated to you. And I would suggest for all of us as a collective, just, taking it easy with that full moon. It's the day that Mercury goes direct, but Mercury is still retrograde. This could even be a day. I mean, there's talk that Elon Musk might be buying MSNBC. This could even be a day or the day surrounding it, that Elon Musk buys one of these news channels, Gemini, the news, or there's a major confusing shift that a lot of people out there would be really tripped out if that happened, right? Like how they were tripped out when he bought X. So that will be interesting for us to see. Our friends are highlighted, full moon in Gemini, local community, good to do, full moon ceremonies, things in the local community, spend time with friends, but just be mindful of miscommunication, confusion, illusion. This full moon is definitely bringing up our illusions to the surface, which is a good thing because we don't want to be living in illusions, actually. All right, so we gone over some of the main transits for December, and let's pull some cards before we get into each of the 12 signs. Let's see what we get. Oh, something fell out. Mercury retrograde. Okay, how can we, universe, what's our guidance for this funky month ahead, which is exciting? We know there's a lot of positivity. We're so grateful for Pluto and Aquarius and Sag season and Capricorn season, but there are some funny aspects. So what's our guidance for our highest good? Wow. Okay. I just pulled some Astro cards, and I also want to pull up a Divine Circus card. This is one of my favorite decks because it is going to be like a circus December. It's going to feel like that sometimes. Okay, so what's our circus message? Divine Circus from Alana Fairchild. Love her. Clown of Crossroads. Interesting. Okay, we'll get to that. We got the 8th house. We got Uranus. And we got Saturn. Oh my gosh. Shadow work, people. And okay, I don't wish this upon anyone, but again, I'm just feeling this so strong. Some people losing their minds and starting to have maybe a dark night of the soul, or starting to actually do real shadow work around the mind control that they've been under. And yeah, we're going to be called upon to likely support people really going through this. So I feel like this really depends on where you're at consciousness-wise. Those of us that are open to spirituality, the alternative woo information, we're not better than people that aren't, okay? But a lot of us have done shadow work, and a lot of us have gone through really conscious dark night of the souls. And I'm feeling like people who haven't yet, this is more towards them. This is more towards loved ones around us. Yeah, Long Shadow says people not be able to handle the truth. So again, patience, boundaries, okay? And through the breakdown comes the breakthrough. I've been saying that for a long time. Okay, 8th house card. Uranus, drastic changes, unpredictability, unexpected things. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but the past 2-3 days, it hasn't been that crazy. And I feel like, yeah, with Mercury about to go retrograde, it's in a lot of December, a lot of unpredictable, unexpected things coming up, shocks and surprises and consciousness shifts, Uranus. And Granddaddy Saturn, I feel like this goes with the 8th house card. It's like reality checks. You're not going to pay attention. You're not going to admit to yourself what's going on. You're not going to take accountability. Jupiter square Saturn, reality checks. Capricorn season, ruled by Saturn, reality checks. So, okay. And the Clown of Crossroads, I don't know if I've ever pulled that one before, so I'm going to grab the description. Yeah, I'm really feeling the Saturn, actually, energy for the month. Opportunity is upon you. Though it may seem like a farewell to what you have known, this chance is a crossroad, a time when you can go left or right. You cannot continue with everything as it has been. And this means that something will have to be released for something else to be gained. It's time for you to take your chances and make a choice. Choices, reality checks. The Clown of Crossroads comes to you when you are at a choice point. She tells you that it is time for a new phase of life to begin. Something must be left behind as a rite of passage. Can you guys hear Ocean? Do you want to come up here, Ocean? I'm going to pick him up. Do you want to come up here? Come here. Are you going to say hi to everybody? Say hello. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Catmas. Merry Catmas. Oh my God, the animals help so much. So, okay. Decisions. That's also Saturn. What is your decision? I'm feeling that. I'm like channeling Saturn right now. What are you letting go of? What is the sacrifice? What are you sacrificing to gain? Ocean agrees. If you want to really bring in something new into your life, you got to let something go. You got to release. And Pluto, 0 degrees of Aquarius, that's like, yeah, really, we're in a really good time to release what no longer serves. We're being supported in doing that. So that's for all of us. And we'll get into the 12 signs now. Yes, Ocean is a Siamese tabby. Do you want to show everybody your colors again? He's a Taurus. He's my Taurus prince. And he's purring. He's so cute. I don't know if you guys can hear him purring. Do you like saying hi to everybody? Look at how I'm holding him. So cute. Thank you for showing up. He's just chilling. He's in a chill mood. Okay, so now we're going to get into each of the 12 signs for December. And we're going to start with our Aries. Oh my gosh, Medusa, good morning. You say good morning, Meg, waking up to Moonbeam at 6 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. Nice. That is so funny. Love that. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we start with our Aries. for December. What have we got going on? I'm going to make the slide a little bit bigger here. I haven't, knock on wood, let me knock on some wood. I haven't felt the Mercury retrograde too crazy yet. Have you guys? Let me know. Okay, Aries. This December, well, we've got your ruler Mars going to be going retrograde, okay, on December 6th, going until February 2025. So, with your ruler retrograde, it's a little bit more of a funky energy. You can be feeling more tired, more easily irritable. You can be noticing more power struggles in your life, okay? But with your ruler Mars retrograde, it's a good time to really be reviewing and reflecting on your life in general, okay? When your planetary ruler is retrograde, it's like the universe going, stop, pause. What do you need to reevaluate? What do you need to refocus? What do you need to clean out? Interesting, I'm feeling very strongly there's something to clean out for the Aries. Okay, 2025 is going to be a very big year for you with the last eclipse in Aries that we're going to have in 9 years, Saturn, Neptune conjunction in Aries. It's going to be bam, 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 a lot of developments. I'm getting very strongly for you, Aries. The more that you clean out now, the easier that it's actually going to be for you going into 2025. We've got Sagittarius is in your 9th house with the new moon there, Mercury retrograde there. So some of you may be doing foreign travel in the first part of the month. Okay, I want you guys to double check, triple check everything with Mercury retrograde in there. Expect possible delays travel-wise, but you can still have some fun trips if you are going to be going somewhere. Also, good time to be focusing on higher learning, but I would wait to buy a new course or something serious or start to mentor under a new teacher or something until after the retrograde is over on December 15th. And the full moon in Gemini on December 15th is in your 3rd house. So that's really highlighting your friends, your local community. That can be a really busy time for you, where it can be a little bit of an information overload at that time, with also Mars retrograde, last day of Mercury retrograde. So, that would be a good full moon to go out in your local community and celebrate the full moon with some friends or siblings or loved ones. And there's a big theme of, something new that you maybe want to start to learn about, a new subject, perhaps. But again, I would wait to invest in anything, buy any course until after December 15th. So I'm sending lots of love to you, Aries, and happy December. Taurus, sun, moon, and risings. How are all y'all out there, my fellow Tauruses? What have we got going on, Taurus? We've got Sagittarius in your 8th house. We've got full moon in Gemini in your 2nd house. So this month is really highlighting your values, your income, your resources, money, your, real deal, committed relationships with others, okay? With Mercury retrograde in your 8th house, there can be some intense things coming up from the past, okay? Or this is actually really a good time with Mercury in Sag retrograde in your 8th house to do some real deal, deep healing. I like psychotherapy for you this month, Taurus. I like shamanic healing for you, real deal forms of wellness and care. This is a very intense period. Tauruses, if you've listened to me before, you've probably already heard me say, Pluto is on our midheaven. I'm a Taurus rising, so I'm with you, Tauruses. We've got Pluto right at the top of our chart. Pluto, the ruling planet of Scorpio. So we are going through massive transformation at this time Even potential power struggles might be going on. And I really like this month with Sagittarius in your 8th house for doing some real deal healing modalities, self-reflection, surrendering to the fact that you're going through a huge freaking transformation, okay? And if you don't know what that transformation is, Taurus, stop, smell the roses, get grounded, be honest with yourself about what you need to release, and be honest with yourself about what it is that you want to call in, okay? Because this is a huge portal with Pluto in your midheaven of change, of up level, okay? And it has a lot to do with work and career, big time, and your long-term goals. Full moon in Gemini on December 15th is going to be in your 2nd house. So that's highlighting, yeah, your values, your income, your enjoyment in life. Could be the end of an income stream, but also highlighting new ways for you to be abundant. New values can be coming up for you. Some of you might want to be starting an income stream with a friend or a sibling or something more in your local community. So something for you guys to be mindful of, and love that we've got Jupiter in our 2nd house. Woo, woo, even though Jupiter's retrograde. Very uplifting for us. That's our house of Taurus, to have Jupiter there. So there's really positive things going on for Taurus, but also super intense with Pluto on the midheaven. So I love you guys so, so much, and wishing you a very, very happy December. Okay, and before we go to the Gemini, something's coming up on my computer. Just bear with me a moment here. Mercury retrograde moment has begun. Okay. All right. Got it. So, okay, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and risings. We've got Sagittarius in your 7th house. Yeah, Mercury retrograde in your 7th house. Geminis, you guys can be having lovers, work partners, committed relationships from the past coming up. I like to call it, when we've got a Mercury retrograde in the 7th or the 5th or even the 8th house, there's some creepy crawly people that might be coming up from the past. So just be mindful of that. If you're single, you're likely being tested on past relationships. But also with that new moon in Sagittarius, there's the potential for beautiful new relationships to be coming in. So you can set some intentions around that. And good time to be reviewing and reflecting on the 7th house. Also has to do with our aesthetic and what we're committed to, okay? Full moon in Gemini, your annual full moon in Gemini on December 15th. You are very much in the spotlight, and that's a very powerful full moon for you, Gemini, for you to release what no longer serves. You know, that full moon is going to be in a T-square to Neptune, so it's really highlighting our illusions, possible addictions, reality versus fantasy, but also really good full moon for doing spiritual healing modalities, energy work as well. So highly advise those things for you. And you guys, Gemini, might be in the spotlight in some sort of way around that full moon. And Gemini, very powerful portal for you to release what no longer serves and be open to the new energies that you want to create. What else have we got going on over here? Yeah, so I like the vibe. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Mercury is your planetary ruler and is retrograde. Okay, so this can be, you know, you can really be feeling that in your mind, in your physical body. Definitely a period where we want to be in a theme of review and reflection when our planetary ruler in astrology is retrograde. So just as I've been saying for everyone, triple checking everything. There can be more of a propensity for miscommunication, things like that coming up. So love you, Geminis, and have a magical December. Next, we've got our Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So you have the Mercury retrograde and new moon in Sagittarius in your 6th house. So this is really a good time to be reevaluating your health, your routines, your day-to-day work, your organization. There could be, if there's something health-wise that you've been putting off, that can be really coming to the surface with this Mercury retrograde. Some of you Cancers may be wanting to start more of a spiritual or woo kind of day-to-day routine or even professional work. That can be really highlighted to the surface for you. And we've got the full moon in Gemini on December 15th is happening in your 12th house. So that is a very spiritual full moon for you. You can be feeling very, very dreamy, very creative. I highly suggest spending some alone time around that full moon on December 15th. Allow yourself to be in your dreaminess, in your creativity. Pay attention to your dreams, Cancers. You guys tend to have very active dreams anyways, but there can be big breakthroughs that can happen in your dream time through meditation and spiritual practices. Also a very good full moon to be doing healing modalities as well. So love you, Cancies, so much, and have a magical month of December. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Woohoo! This is going to be a fun one. This is not a boring energy for the Leos whatsoever, because you've got Mercury retrograde and the new moon in Sagittarius in your 5th house, the Leo house, which I like to call the fun house. Okay, so that's fun. And then we've got Mars going retrograde on December 6th in your sign of Leo, which is very dramatic. Okay, so this is not a boring month for you, Leos. This is a very creative month with Mercury retrograde and the new moon in your 5th house. You may be having some romantic lovers from the past, creepy crawling out from the shadows, okay, possibly testing you. If you're single or even if you're in a relationship, very creative energy. Some of you may be going back to a creative hobby or profession or pursuit that you put to the side for a while. I like the new moon in Sagittarius for putting yourself out in the spotlight, showcasing your gifts and talents. And with that Mars in retrograde in Leo, yeah, you guys can be a bit on the dramatic side. You guys are always dramatic, which I love you guys. I'm not bashing the Leos. You're the Leos, the lions of the zodiac. So yeah, just keeping it cool. You might be feeling really like a lot of energy, very passionate, which is great to put towards creativity this month. Whether you're a creative professionally or not, it's good to have creative energy. Then the full moon in Gemini on December 15th is in your 11th house. So that's highlighting definitely your friends, because Gemini rules friends, 11th house of Aquarius rules friends. There could be an ending or a completion having to do with a friend, a group association, your relationship to technology or social media. Also, I think, this whole month, really good time for you to be putting yourself out there with the new moon in your 5th, with the full moon in your 11th, especially on social media or technology, which is not the most important thing in the world. But if you're doing entrepreneurship, if you're wanting to get your voice heard in some way, this is a very good month for you to be. Oh, Ocean is agreeing. We got the little lion here meowing for the Leos, saying, be in your Leo, put yourself out there, be in the spotlight, be in your confidence. So really like this month for the Leos, actually, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Have a happy December. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Risings. We've got Mercury retrograde and new moon in Sag in your 4th house. This is highlighting your home, your family, your emotional foundation. Definitely Virgos, this holiday season, you can be having some really deep, philosophical, spiritual conversations with family, with loved ones, okay? Because Sagittarius in your 4th house with Mercury retrograde and new moon there. This is a sign of philosophy, the deeper truths, the higher truths rather. So I'm seeing a lot of Virgos are going to be having very deep conversations with loved ones this holiday season, where Virgos, you may notice like family members waking up, family members opening the door with you. I talked about that earlier in the show. If you didn't watch the first part of the show, watch it, because we talked about, I shared about what it means if somebody's opening the door with you, if they're going through that wake up and, they're wanting your advice or they're wanting your knowledge or expertise. So that can definitely be coming up. With the Saggies, the new moon in Sag, I've told you guys, not the best new moon to like be really starting something new or really firm on your intentions. But, some of you may be wanting to buy a new home or move. I would say look at your options, but don't make any firm decisions with that Mercury retrograde in the 4th house for now. Just pause on anything serious related to your home. And then we've got the full moon in Gemini on December 15th happening in your 10th house. So you could be very much in the spotlight with your work, with your career, your public reputation. There could be an ending or completion work-wise going on for you, but it's also really being illuminated your gifts and your talents that you have to share professionally. We've got Ocean meowing for the Virgos too. So both the new moon and the full moon, I've told you guys, I don't love either of them this month for really putting set intentions out there, because that full moon in Gemini, December 15th, in a T-square to Neptune. So we're wanting to just really be in a place of pause and reflection, Virgos, but you could definitely be possibly getting a promotion around that full moon, or some career advancement could be going on for sure. So I love you, Virgos, and wishing you a very, very happy month of December. Okay, next we go to the Libras. I'm just going to have a sip of my ginger beer. It's not alcoholic. It's a organic ginger beer. Love ginger beer. Ooh, I don't think I said, you guys, full moon in Gemini, December 15th in a T-square to Neptune. Not a good time to be like drinking heavily, substances. Okay, that could be like getting alcohol poisoning or getting really sick or something not going well with substances that alter us. So just be mindful with that full moon. But on to our Libras. So Libras, you're having Mercury retrograde in Sag and the new moon in Sag in your 3rd house. So, okay, this is one of the houses of Mercury. Okay, Libra. So you guys can be possibly really feeling this Mercury retrograde, where there could be a lot of schedule changes, just things kind of messing up and all over the place. So you're not going crazy if that's coming up. It's a Mercury retrograde in your 3rd house. So I've told all the signs, but Libras, especially for you guys, be very mindful of this Mercury retrograde. Back up your computer, back up your phone, put protectors on your devices. Make sure everything is running smoothly with your car. Okay, 3rd house has to do with cars. We got Ocean meowing for you guys as well. Communicate very clearly as well. And there can be a lot going on for you. I find the 3rd house is busyness and multiple things going on at the same time. And we've got the full moon in Gemini on December 15th in your 9th house. So that's highlighting higher learning, foreign travel, foreign people, your beliefs. There could definitely be a big dismantling of beliefs going on for Libra around that full moon in Gemini, or the ending of a course or a workshop that you've been taking. Also illuminating maybe new subjects, because it is Gemini in the 9th house of Sag. New things that you want to learn. Okay, Libras, there's likely new things that you're going to want to be learning moving forward. Again, don't buy any serious courses or make any investments until after December 15th, when Mercury has gone direct. Love you, Libras, and have a happy December. Scorpio, sun, moon, and risings. My fellow Scorpios, how are all y'all doing out there? We've got our planetary ruler, Pluto, now in Aquarius, has changed signs as of November 19th. Okay, Ocean, why are you freaking out? He's being a little bit Leo dramatic, even though he's a Taurus. So yeah, Scorpios, we've got Pluto at the bottom of our chart. There's similar to the Tauruses, okay, these two opposite signs, Pluto at the bottom and the top, big transformations taking place for you. Mercury retrograde and new moon in Sag in your second house is a good time to be reviewing on your values, your income stream, your material resources. Some of you are going to want to be, with that new moon in Sag, inspired to start a new kind. Oh my God, Ocean is going nuts. Can you guys hear that? He's jumping into a bag filled with like papers and stuff. Okay, now he's out the room. Sorry for that, you guys. So the new moon in Sag is highlighting new income streams for you, new ways of abundance that may be Sagittarius in nature, going in a really new direction. Nice house to be having Sagittarius in. We want to be really mindful also with Mercury retrograde in the second of purchases that you make during this retrograde. Not a good time to be making major purchases. Okay, so be mindful of that. Then we've got the full moon in Gemini on December 15th is in your 8th house. 8th house is the house of Scorpio. That's one of the cards that we pulled for all of us, the 8th house. So with that full moon in Gemini, that's a major release that is taking place for you. I would highly suggest great full moon time to be doing a detox, a cleanse, energy healing, real deal, spiritual self-work modalities. There can be very intense things coming up to the surface for you. And as Gemini rules information, there could be secrets, information that you learn about that you likely need to process that might be intense. Okay, so I always keep it real with you guys, Scorpio. That full moon in Gemini is going to be a bit of a doozy for us. Okay, so doing extra self-care, likely something intense to be coming up for us during that time. Information that we learn about could have to do with our family, with Pluto at, our IC in the 4th house. So love you guys so, so much and have a very magical December. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and risings. Happy birthdays, happy solar returns. We've got Mercury retrograde in your sign. We've got new moon in Sagittarius in your sign. We got sun in your sign for the first part of the month. So you are very much in the spotlight. You are very much feeling this Mercury retrograde, okay? So if you are like mentally feeling foggy, scattered, things are being delayed, not working out the way that you plan them, yeah, we've got Mercury retrograde in your sign. One way that you can positively work with this energy is just pause, okay, Saggies? I know you guys like to be traveling the world. I know you guys like to be doing your thing. You like to be moving around. You guys like to be active. This is a time in December to pause, okay, to get grounded and get rooted in, I'm hearing Spirit say, like, what are your goals? What are your intentions? What is not working, okay, that needs to be let go? Full moon in Gemini on December 15th in your 7th house. So that's highlighting your commitments, committed relationships. There could be the end of a work contract or a love relationship that you've been in, highlighting the type of partners, if you are single, that you might want to be bringing into your life. Okay. I'm feeling intuitively that there's many Saggies out there that are maybe feeling a little bit lost or a little bit all over the place, or it's feeling more scattered. And this is I'm just getting this intuitively for the Saggies than a lot of the other signs. And it makes sense because Mercury is retrograde in your sign, but I genuinely am feeling that intuitively as well. So it's okay to pause. It's okay to be spending more time at home. It's okay to be reflecting. It's okay to be meditating. It's okay to be slowing down. Okay, Sagis. And you are our inspirational teachers. You are, the archers. You bring so much positivity into the world. And you're going to be called upon. You are called upon in a really big way now and moving forward into the future. And this is a time of honoring yourself and taking sacred pause and reviewing your relationships. So sending lots of love your way and have a happy December. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and risings. You've got Mercury retrograde and new moon in Sag in your 12th house. Okay, so you can be dreaming of the past while Mercury is retrograde. You can be having very spiritual dreams, realizations. Fantastic time, Capricorn, during the first part of the month to, similar what I just said to the Saggies, take it easy at home, have some alone time, salt baths, self-care, rest, rejuvenation. Okay, you've been through a lot. You just came out of Pluto and Capricorn, and if you're a Capricorn, you've just survived that. So congratulations. I'm so proud of you guys. And the first part of the month is feeling spiritual. It's feeling creative, and it's good. It's good for you to be behind the scenes, honoring yourself, your creativity, and your spiritual practices. Very good for meditation. 12th house and Sagittarius both rule meditation. And then full moon in Gemini on December 15th is in your 6th house. So that's highlighting your physical body, your health, your day-to-day routines and work. Could be an ending having to do with one of those 6th house ruled areas of life. And I think your nervous system, you're going to be really feeling your nervous system. Okay, because Gemini, one of the signs that rules the nervous system. 6th house is also the nervous system. So making sure you're doing really good grounding and earthing around that full moon. Capricorns, you can maybe be a little bit more stressed or anxious. I'm not wishing that upon you, just reading the medical astrology. And you could learn some new valuable information about what's good for you and your personal health and wellness moving forward, new plans, good time. But I wouldn't say start anything new until after the Mercury retrograde. Love you, Cappies, and happy birthdays to all the December Cappies out there. See you later. Okay, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and risings. You guys are having the Mercury retrograde and new moon in Sag in your 11th house. This can be friends coming back from the past. This can be reevaluating your friends, your group associations, your relationship to technology and social media. I do like the new moon in Sag on December 1st for putting out your beliefs, putting out your voice online, if you do anything online. And you can be getting big wisdom and inspiration about the future. Okay, the 11th house is the future around that time. Full moon in Gemini on December 15th is in your 5th house. So very good full moon Aquarians to be having fun, being creative, honoring your inner child, doing inner child healing practices for sure, because Gemini rules children, 5th house of Leo rules children. And yeah, I like this month for you and the Leos, putting yourself in the spotlight, okay? Just one moment, you guys. I keep seeing some weird thing pop up. Just a sec. Okay. So yeah, you guys are feeling really creative, and there can be new people coming into your lives, new friends, as maybe some old ones are being let go, new community. And you guys have just had Pluto enter your sign as of November 19th for the whole next 20 years. So you're going through the biggest transformation and up level of your lives, So happy Pluto and Aquarius, and happy December. I love you guys so much. And last but not least, we've got our magical Pisces out there. Do we have any Pisces here in the chat? Let me know. And Pisces, 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 let's see what we've got going on for you guys. Mercury retrograde in Sag and new moon in Sag in your 10th house. So, this can be more delays going on with work, with long-term goals, with parents or people older in your life, okay? But at the same time, you can be feeling really inspired. Oh, we got lots of Pisces in here. Holy guacamole. Hello, Pisces. Yeah, there can be, really big inspiration. Sagittarius rules inspiration towards your long-term goals, but don't set anything in stone until after that Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes direct December 15th. So possible promotion coming in, really great ideas and wisdoms having to do with your long-term goals and your work. Then we've got the full moon in Gemini on December 15th in your 4th house, highlighting your home, family, and emotional foundation. Wow, there's tons of Pisces in the chat. Makes sense because you guys are about spirituality and astrology and all that. So makes sense. That full moon, interesting, similar to what I said. What was the other sign that I said? I think it was the Virgos, your opposite sign. They were having I think the new moon in Sag in their 4th house. Yeah, that full moon on December 15th, you can be having some big conversations with family members. You could be noticing maybe some family members waking up around that point, conversing. Gemini is conversing, sharing ideas, sharing information with family members can definitely be coming up. There could be an ending to a place that you're living, a new beginning to a living space as well. And I love that full moon in Pisces for you cleansing out your home, maybe doing some feng shui and clearing work in the home environment or having to do with family as well. So love you, Pisces, and wishing you a magical and happy December. We've gone through all 12 signs and we've gone through the collective. Yes, I was the secret moderator there. For me, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing the production, when I'm doing the readings, I can't be having like conversations going on in the comments for minutes and minutes long that have nothing to do with what we're talking about here. So I'm sorry that I just had to mute a couple people for the live, but it's like extremely distracting to everyone. If you're having conversations in the comments about like shit that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So sending you guys love, light, not trying to shut down your voice, not trying to shut down your free speech, but just saying, okay. That's that energy, that Mercury retrograde with Mercury in opposition to Jupiter. It's like, okay, what we're doing here, this is an astrology show. I don't know what the heck you guys were talking about there, but yeah, free speech all the way. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's Astro Woo for the month of December. And before I finish up again, I want to mention, go check out my Astrology Predictions 2025 live workshop over on the Beyond Mystic Academy that I'm going to be hosting next weekend from Thursday, November 28th to Sunday, December 1st. So exciting to be doing that. So excited to be doing that. Going to share with you guys the most important transits for each of the 12 signs, going to get you all ready. So be sure to sign up if you want to, of course. And also, Janine and I have this special Psychic Superpowers Master Workshop available on the Beyond Mystic Academy as well. There's a typo on the poster. It should say decoding your sun, moon, and rising sign. So we talk about what your psychic superpowers are based on your sun, moon, and rising sign. You can go check that out at the Beyond Mystic Academy. So yeah, we've talked about December. It's funky. It's not negative. It's just a little bit all over the place. And remember to stay grounded out there. Remember to take breaks from the information overload when necessary. I love you all so, so much. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving to my American family and friends out there. Happy holidays, whatever holidays you celebrate in December. And I'll see you all tomorrow for the Daily Astro Woo. I see you guys every day. I do shows almost every single day. So love you guys so much. Happy holidays and see you soon. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Mwah. Love you.